I've got some new information about the Necrozma, Lunala, and Solgaleo fusions. Some of this was officially announced, and some of it is from a leaked source. So let's start with that official announcement on the Pokemon Go website. So first off, to fuse Necrozma with either Lunala or Solgaleo, you will need 1000 fusion energy and 30 Necrozma candy, as well as 30 Cosmog candy, and they will stay fused until you unfuse them. So it's not like Mega Evolving, which reverts after 8 hours, and then unfusing doesn't cost anything. Also, if you fuse a Necrozma that has a location card background, the fusion form will keep that location card, so you won't lose that, which is a nice little touch for those going to the in-person events. And once you fuse them, the fusion forms will automatically know their legacy moves. So Dusk Mane Necrozma will know the charged attack Stun, Steel, Strike, and Dawnwing's Necrozma will know the charged attack Moongeist Beam. Now these are going to be very strong attacks, so definitely ones you're going to want to have. Probably will make them pretty top tier raid attackers for their types, which is Ghost and Steel. I'm also guessing they will be pretty good in PvP, but I'll make a video about both those things later when we have more of that information. Now, those people with tickets to the in-person events, you are going to get access to these fusions first. You'll also be able to get a shiny Necrozma before anybody else. And for those of us who aren't going, you could remote into these raids. That's definitely possible. However, you won't be able to get shiny Necrozma, so it won't be able to be shiny, and you won't have the needed energy to do the fusions. And that's because to get the energy at the in-person events, you're going to have to complete a branching research story where you'll have to choose whether you want to fuse Necrozma with either Lunala or Solgaleo. And yes, that means you will only be able to make one fusion unless you go to multiple in-person events. For those of us not going to the in-person events, we are going to have to wait for Global Go Fest for our chances at shiny Necrozma, as well as the ability to fuse Necrozma with Lunala or Solgaleo. And let's talk about how that's going to work, because for Global Go Fest, it's going to work a little bit differently. So Duskmane and Dawnwing's Necrozma will make their worldwide Pokemon Go debuts in raids during day 2 of Pokemon Go Fest Global. Once that raid is complete, we will have the chance to catch regular Necrozma, but we will also get Solar Fusion energy from Duskmane Necrozma raids or Lunar Fusion energy from Dawnwing's Necrozma raids. And we will also get Cosmog candies, so that's a good little fact to know there as well. If you need some Cosmog candies, like I'm sure most of us do, you'll be able to get them from these raids as well. And for those of you who were not around for the special research stories that got us encounters with Cosmog before, don't worry, because there will be another special research story during Global Go Fest that will get you an encounter with Cosmog, which you can then eventually evolve into Lunala or Solgaleo, depending on which time of day you evolve it. And then if you bought the ticket for Global Go Fest, you will also receive an extended branching special research that includes encounters with Solgaleo or Lunala, as well as Solar Fusion energy or Lunar Fusion energy, depending on which of those branches you choose in the research story. And one more thing, Necrozma and its fusion forms can neither be traded nor transferred to Pokemon Home. Okay, that's it for all the officially announced information. Now let's talk about a little bit of the inside information that I have to share with you as well. And it tells us a little bit more about how these fusions will work. But while we're talking about this, I'm going to throw up the videos that show the actual fusion process that the Pokemon group got their hands on, so you can see what the fusion process will look like in the game once you are eventually able to fuse Necrozma and Lunala or Solgaleo. So a few things that you might be wondering about how fusions are going to work is, one, which IVs are taken when you combine two Pokemon, because obviously Necrozma and Lunala or Solgaleo, depending on which you're fusing, will have their own IVs, and it is Necrozma's IVs that will be the deciding ones. So whatever IVs the Necrozma has that you're fusing, that's the IVs that the final fusion will have as well. Now, what about when it comes to shinies? Well, the good news here is that only one of the Pokemon needs to be shiny for the fusion to be shiny. So if you have a shiny Necrozma and a regular Lunala and you fuse them together, you will end up with a shiny fusion form. And that goes the same if you have, say, a shiny Solgaleo, which you can't get yet. But when you can, if you have a shiny Solgaleo and a regular Necrozma and you fuse them, then that fusion will also be shiny. So only one of them needs to be shiny for the fusion form to end up shiny. And if you have a lucky Lunala or a lucky Solgaleo and you fuse it with Necrozma, that lucky status will carry over. So that's how you would get a lucky of the fusion forms, since you can't trade either the fusion forms or Necrozma. And if you have a lucky Lunala or a lucky Solgaleo and you fuse it with Necrozma, that lucky status will carry over. So that's how you would get a lucky of the fusion forms, since you can't trade either the fusion forms or Necrozma. All right, everybody, that's all the information I have for this video. Let me know in the comments down below if you are excited excited for those fusion forms to come to Pokemon Go finally. And if you enjoyed this video or found it useful, hit the like button and subscribe for more Pokemon Go news, tips, and live streams. Happy hunting. I hope you get all the light Pokemon of your dreams. And we'll see you in the next one, friends.
I've got something incredibly funky.